So then you'd be in favor of basically making lobbying lobbyists an illegal activity, and therefore people that are in the government that served wouldn't have a job after they're done. They'd have to go back to the private sector.
That's right.
Basically saying.
Yeah, a lot of them that serve go and they work for lobbying groups, and they come back and forth and keep seeing their friends and asking them to do this and asking them to do that, and they're taking them on trips and vacations and everything of that nature. That's wrong. We need to do the people's business, you know, and that's not doing the people's business.
Okay.
That's doing the lobbying business.
Okay. Let's talk a little about the Second Amendment. How do you see the Second Amendment?
I'm for the Second Amendment, 100%.
Okay, and so
I believe that we should have the right to own arms. I believe that we should have the right to carry arms, and I believe that we should have the right to carry it concealed or open.
Okay.
And
is there a limit at some point, or how about if you're convicted of a felony, or what's the limit? How far would you go?
Okay, if you're convicted of a felon, then you would not be allowed.
Okay.
You would not be allowed to have a firearm. Okay. If there's something that you may have some difficulties in managing your mental faculties and things of that nature, that should be known, and that would be difficult for somebody like that to have a firearm because it may be discharged when it really didn't want to be discharged. Okay, so we don't want to put guns in the hands of people that cannot use them or know how to use them. In fact, my cousin, who lives in San Antonio, Texas, her husband teaches concealed carry. And I think that there'd be nothing wrong with having a course in the state of Illinois, in the whole country, for concealed carry. That way, you'll go through the course, you'll learn about the weapons, you'll learn how to use them, you know what to do with them, and then you'll be allowed to have a concealed carry weapon.
Okay.
I'm also for bringing back the First Amendment because we're losing our freedom.
Bringing back the First Amendment.
Right.
So we lost it, or
we're losing it. We're losing it all the time.
Okay,
freedom of speech.
Which one? Freedom of speech.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we're losing freedom of speech. You know, there's a lot of things that we can't say anymore. You know, people make comments. Kids make comments in school and things, and they get held accountable for it like it's a hate crime. You know, I don't believe that we should be derogatory towards anybody. But I think we need to be able to speak our mind without alienating somebody.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about the First Amendment then. Do you believe it's right for taxpayers to fund practices which they may find morally offensive?
No. And if you're talking about like abortion, taxpayer dollars to fund abortion, no. I am totally pro-life, from fertilization to natural death.
Okay.
I don't think any taxpayer dollars should fund anything like abortion or anything close to it, or issuing out any type of prophylactics to anybody. Okay. That should not be the government's job. All right. And I don't believe in abortion at all.
Okay, and then as far as one other thing that actually came up this morning in another interview was the idea that, you know, at what level is it okay to talk about or discuss religion in public schools? I'll give you an example,
okay,
just to give us a real example. That if a child comes home with, let's say, a paper on a Muslim holiday, or say Kwanzaa for this year right now, yet they're not allowed to talk about Christ in the classroom, do you feel that there's a disbalance there of some sort where they're talking about you know, other religions, but you're not allowed to talk about Christianity unless it's in the guise of saying it's just one of many religions?
No, I think, well, our country was founded on Judeo-Christian principles, okay? And our laws are based on a lot of Judeo-Christian principles. In fact, all of our laws are based on those principles. There are many religions in the world, okay? And Christianity is one of them, and Christianity is the one that I profess, okay? And I'm Catholic, and I'm proud of it. But that doesn't mean that the Jewish people aren't proud of their religion, or the Muslim people aren't proud of their religion, and they should be able to stand up and say, I am. Mm-hmm. When you're in school, I think it's good for the children to know about other religions. I don't think it's wrong not to teach about it. I think it's wrong to keep it from them, okay? For instance, I went through Mason Elementary School in Chicago, okay? And when I was in the 6th grade, now I'm blonde hair, Okay? I'm Christian, and I was picked to play a Jewish boy in the play to explain Hanukkah to the people. Okay? And I thought it was an honor to do that. Here they picked me. I'm going to Sunday school. I'm going to church. And teachers knew it. And they picked me to explain about the Jewish religion. And like I said, I'm repeating myself, but I was honored that that happened. And why? Because we had a lot of Jewish children in our school. Okay? And to talk about it and to know about it was a real wonderful thing. It just brought the kids together closer. I played a Jewish boy in the play. And this one fellow was Jewish. I played a Christian boy. It was beautiful. So taking religion out of school is wrong. And I think prayer should be in school. Congress, everybody prays before they do something. But when it comes to school, they're saying, no, you can't do it. Wrong. I think they should. I think it's a good thing. And they could say a Jewish prayer. They could say a Muslim prayer. They could say a Christian prayer. The children should know about these other religions.
Okay. All right. Do you support a law that will require constitutional justification for every bill in the actual bill?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to see bills within the bills, period, as we talked before. I would like to see that every bill presented that has to go through Congress has to be read fully by everybody before they can vote on it.
All right.
Okay? And we have to not tag bills onto other bills. Every bill should be important enough. If it's going to get there, it should be important enough to be read by everybody to be passed on. We don't have to have a bill and have 15 other ones tagged on it and you don't know what's going on. That's wrong. Every bill should stand on its own. And that's the way the country started.
Okay.